Hi Abhishek.
Hi,
Hi
Nidhi.
Hello.
Adesh. Okay, so we are here to talk about the new book of our author, Mr. Abhishek Talwar, and that is.
Sorry, I'm just
No,
the writer. It's actually Adesh's book. It's all
Of
his
course.
story. Just
All
put
right.
down to words there.
That's lovely. The reason we have this thing happening here is because I'm sure the people want to watch the rapport that the two of you all have, because this book belongs to a story that you have lived, and this book belongs to you, a story that you heard and you scripted it. So let's start. Okay. So Chronicles of a Wanderer. Abhishek, guide us a bit. What is Chronicles of a Wanderer?
So, Nidhi, honestly, if you ask me, this was a very tough book to write. One would imagine if it is the story of a person who's lived a life, then in the book, all you have to do is आपको वो कहानी बतानी है. You don't have to create anything. But it was a very tough one to do because, see, you need to realize that a person who's lived a life of 66 years has a lot of information to share. The critical part is आप क्या चीज़ उठाओ और आप क्या चीज़ नहीं उठाओ. So to me, what is Chronicles of a Wanderer? It is very clearly the story of the journey of a man or the journey of a boy that made him the man that he has become. And clearly that is the gist of what the book is. I don't know what Adesh's thoughts on that
I
are.
100% agree with that because I've been on a cycling to Sri Lanka
A cycle.
on without any gears,
Wow.
bicycle. And you can imagine the situation, you are going along the sea coast, heavy breeze, you cannot move forward but you have to push yourself. Push to go forward.
That
Night
sounds
camp,
beautiful.
comfortable. We kept going and that day I had two of the teammates.
Okay.
And then I came back home. The reason I'm writing because my father said three sons cannot join the business.
Yeah.
They'll have wives, they'll fight. I said, just don't join business.
Right.
Then I thought for myself, who am I? See, my shirt is my father's, pant is my father's, watch is my father's, only thing is my hair, that's all. So I said, I have to survive myself. I have to hit myself.
Right.
So I came home, thought for some time, and thought for some time, then I thought, why not me?
So Abhishek, does your book dwell on his early years in Chennai?
It does. In fact, the book starts off with Adesh while he's 14, at the age of 14. And I remember when Adesh first narrated it, if you recollect Adesh, the stutter that he had where he used to stammer because of lack of confidence.
Lack of confidence because my father used to take the belt and beat me very bad in studies. He had money and my mother we are Punjabis, he used to Nikama Moya, she used to tell us. That I used to cry. That I lost faith in myself.
And that affected you.
I lost faith in myself.
So you
I learned a
do
lesson.
think that is the base of
that's why I
what
tell
made
my
you
wife,
the wanderer that you
tell
are?
my wife and my daughter also, never raise your hand on a child.
That's lovely. And what next? What comes after Chennai in the book?
So
I just a few bits. I know we would want everyone to go read this book, but just a few things about what happens after the Chennai chapter in the book.
So what happens in the book? So obviously the story starts off in Chennai because that's where Adesh was, born and spent a large part of his life as a young person. So there are two interesting things, and this suddenly even hit home as a revelation to me because while I was obviously listening to the story from Adesh and writing the book, he always came across to me as a person who lives in the now. See, all of us, all the teachings, all the gurus, all the religious books, eventually what do they teach us? They tell us learn to live in the now. Don't keep dwelling on your past. Yeah, learn from your past, but don't keep, destroying your present thinking about the future. And the toughest thing that you can do is live in the now. And I used to think, here's this guy who's managed to crack that code because the whole story is he's not bothered कल क्या होगा. Like अभी मेरे पास ये bicycle है, अभी मेरे को यहाँ जाना है, and that is what matters. Let me enjoy what's happening in the now. And now suddenly he tells us that his stammering is probably a result of thinking too far ahead in the future.
And also I was and I love to be a sportsman, I was a member of the Madras rowing team. I represent Madras in Sri Lanka, and I went to Hong Kong all over there. There, the motto is when the going gets tough, the tough get going. There's no compromise.
So in fact, that
Winners never quit, and quitters never win. And
So well said.
And the bike.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Did I hear Sri Lanka on a bike?
Sri Lanka on a bicycle. In fact, to
On a bicycle.
yeah, answer your question on what happens in Madras. So he started off like Adish said. He excelled in sports in school. Obviously, didn't do very well in academics. So his interest was in sports, and he did very well. He was in fact part of the Madras rowing club rowing team. He won a couple of regattas, including international tournaments, and he was also scheduled to be in the selected few people trying out for India's Olympic team.
Yes.
So he'd reached up to that level
Wow.
as far as the zenith of that sport is concerned.
Right.
And then something very dramatic happened that completely changed the course of his life, which I will not let out
Of
because
course.
I'd like you to pick up the book
Yes.
and read about it. And I think that was, when I was even speaking with Adesh about that phase of his life when he was in Madras, where he suddenly couldn't try out for the Olympics team for whatever had happened.
It happened.
Down that road.
But there's one thing that I read in the brief that I want to know. The political and the social unrest that is being mentioned in the book. What kind of unrest are we talking about? And again, I don't want to know too much on the book, but just a bit about why is that an important part about the book?
So I think Adesh, you should tell us about your journey through Iraq, and that'll probably give us a background on what is the unrest that I've tried to bring out in the book over here.
In Iraq, when we used to travel, distance between one village to another village about 200 miles. We had to drive non-stop, and being in the middle of nowhere, desert, windstorms used to come. And worst part is once it happened, while I was riding the bike, one big truck came overtook us. When the truck overtakes at that speed, a vacuum is created. The whole bike shook. We fell down. My helmet also went rolling. And really, we were stuck on quite some time. Then when the bike stopped, we tried to fix it up, trying to do something, a car stopped. They stopped us, asking us if they like help us. He said, no, we got money. Luckily, we had pocket under our pants
Oh,
to where the passport and the money was there.
right.
And they brought us the guns, they would shoot you guys. Give us all the money. We don't have money. They took us to the police station, but police station didn't agree to their story. Because they saw the passport bike is there, they were not telling us. We kept going.
So what's coming out is that this is the time when Saddam Hussein was consolidating his hold on the country in Iraq. And what I understood, if I was to juxtapose Adesh's journey to what was happening in that part of the world at that point in time, what came out is that whenever there is change, there is obviously a lot of upheaval.
Okay.
And these guys were going through that part of the world where there was change happening everywhere. So in Iraq, there's a regime change in the offing. Saddam is still not the president and the whole and soul of the country, but he's trying to get there. So obviously there are a lot
All
of
the tussle.
there's a lot of unrest which is happening on the ground, and these guys are driving, riding
it.
through that. Similarly, if I remember rightly, even while you guys were in Syria,
Syria.
when you were was it Syria or was it Turkey? When you were trying to get to Europe, and suddenly there was a revolution that broke out, and there were riots and all of that.
Damascus.
So it was Syria.
Yes. Syria.
Wow.
Went through it. That's what we are. When we didn't have money, there are big rich Indians in Damascus. And he wanted to sell whiskey. Because whiskey is big deal. We're foreigners.
Right.
He gave us whiskey to sell in the black and they earned money from us. We also made little money to keep us going, but he
You
made
had
money,
some journey.
profit to keep us.
Right. So this was all your exploration of yourself happening.
Yes.
Is that what made you who you are today? This
And-
journey made you
And
who you
my
are.
bike, one journey, one experience I have very much in mind, which is good for all the children. There are 4 things in life. When you're upset, you're angry, examine yourself. By asking, close your eyes, meditate, not about God, Love. Why you love people? Why people don't love you? Why and why not? Hate. Why do they hate you? Why do they not hate you? Fear. Why are you scared? Why you not fear? And the last very important thing, why you don't know this? Why you know this? In the right word is what?
Knowledge.
See my stamina come out. Thought too much ahead.
But that is some great words of advice over there from Mr. Dhameja. Abhishek, what made you write this book? What intrigued? What was Adesh's story that intrigued you to write this book?
So Nidhi, as we keep sharing on our channel. So I'm a travel writer myself, and Ritika and I have any which ways been traveling for the last 12 years extensively by road. And I used to think that we do some pretty crazy things till I came across Adesh, and I was like, listen, we are not even born. We're still in kindergarten compared to the kind of stuff that he's gone and done. So that was very intriguing to me, the story. So he straight away jumped into probably the learning that he's got out of it. But even before he set out on traveling by a motorcycle and attempting to see how far one puny Java motorcycle and $300 will take him. Prior to that, he's spent close to about 7 weeks cycling across Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Now, for most of us, Sri Lanka is it's a small island at the southern end of India. But the reality is, Sri Lanka is probably a microcosm of very, very varied topographies. So you've got the coastal region, and it is beset with coastal storms. That is one. Then you get to the central part, you get to Novara area towards Kandy. You're really looking at some pretty high altitude places.
Right.
And then you're coming back into the plains. And doing all of this on a bicycle.
On a bike, yeah.
Yeah, on a bike is one thing, but doing it on a bicycle is no child's play.
Absolutely.
And again, there, Adesh, how much money did you all leave with? Yeah,
In those days, 15 pounds sterling.
15 pounds sterling.
Wow.
Which, even if I look at today's exchange rate, is 1,500 rupees. How the hell do you survive on 1,500 rupees for 50 days?
Hospitality in Sri Lanka.
Now that we brought up money, I want to ask this question. Did it not fearsome? Were you scared that for youngsters today, we do a backward of how much money do we have before we plan a trip, and here you were traveling the world with literally nothing in your pocket. Was that something scary?
I didn't think, I just like adventure. I just went up.
Yeah.
And then
Was that an important part of why you wrote this book?
That is
the money.
the only important part of why I wrote the book.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the Buddha zone that he's talking about. I just want to go. I don't care how much money I have. And what he's not letting out is, he could have taken a lot of money and he could have traveled. But he was like, I didn't want to take any money from anyone. मेरे पास मेरा जितना पैसा है, मुझे बस वही लेके जाना है. And I'll see where it gets me. अब bicycle पर तो समझ में आता है, because you don't need any fuel, you just need to keep pedaling. But it got me thinking, how the hell did you manage on a motorcycle? Because because A, you need money for fuel, no matter how cheap it is in the Middle East, and there are going to be breakdowns. With all due respect, Java was a great brand, but it was not really a bike designed to tour the world. So you're going to be having and the funny part is, I remember when he started narrating the story, when he set out from we're not going chronologically, but when he set out from Madras with his riding partner Ravi. I thought, okay, now the interesting part of the journey will start after he's left out of India. And then I discovered it was a challenge for him even to get to Bombay. Because every 100 kilometers, by the time he left from Madras and he reached Bombay, he had literally converted his bike into a whole new bike. Because कहीं पर pistons change किए, कहीं पे exhaust change किया, कहीं पे और जाके tappets change किए. So effectively it was a new bike that reached Bombay from Madras.
Wow.
Okay, and I was like, you've not even left India now. आगे जाके क्या होगा?
But I think this is so inspiring for youngsters, because we all have this mindset of money being such an important part of traveling the world, and this just inspires so many people to go out there and live their dreams, whether they are financially sound or not. And tell us more about Ravi. I know he was Adesh's partner in the book, but why was he highlighted? Because I see it even in the synopsis. He's an integral part of the story. Can you before we come to Adesh, can you say why you picked this to be an important part of the story?
So I'll take Adesh's help in that one.
I'll take
Adesh, if I were to no, so let's not answer Nidhi's question. Let me ask you another question, and this is a question I've asked you several times while even we were writing the book. What, according to you, is the most important quality in a travel partner?
Will to travel, will and interest in some. And Ravi, in spite of being married, he had one child also.
Okay.
He fought with his wife and came with me.
Wow.
He wanted to travel.
And you all were friends.
We met in college, we were friends.
Okay.
That's all. And
He's embellishing it a little over here. So they were not friends; they were total strangers.
yeah,
And
Sorry,
yeah,
I don't lie.
yeah, and when Adesh, decided to set out on this journey, all his regular travel partners deserted him.
they're scared.
Of course, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised.
And they're scared, and I think at some level, if I were to delve into the psychology of why they would, I won't simplify it and say that they were scared. If I were to get into the psychology of it, I would say it was a question of really introspecting and asking yourself, what do I want out of life? Adesh at that point was very clear that I want to discover who I am.
Just travel.
Yeah, and I think these guys were very clear that I want to make a conventional life for myself. Let me complete my studies, let me find a job, let me get married, let me get financial
Right.
security.
Yeah.
Traveling around the world with you on a bicycle
Also.
or a motorcycle or a scooter or a boat or whatever else catches your fancy next is not going to get us to that goal. I think it was a question of very different goals that people were addressing at that time.
Right.
The other thing, and I don't know if that's a problem with which young people face in India today, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we need to understand that in the 70s and even in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, when we were growing up, parents had this very strong hang up कि अभी तुम 22 साल के हो गए हो, 25 साल के हो गए हो, now what are you,
कुछ तो काम कर.
कुछ तो काम कर,
Hmm.
पैसे कैसे बनाएगा, शादी कब करेगा, तेरे से कौन शादी करेगा. So those were questions that they were like existential questions that they had to answer.
Right.
And Adesh, what makes it interesting for me is he broke that mold.
Yeah.
I mean, from a very traditional, orthodox, homely Punjabi family, he breaks that mold and he ventures out. I think the others who were there with him were not able to break that mold.
Okay.
That is where the difference was. And Ravi was this rank outsider who nobody knew. I mean, Adesh didn't know him. Someone
He
just
had-
And how did you find him? On the road.
No, we met at a hotel. Since we were youngsters, my father gave me a bike, loafing around, seeing which girl would impress me. I'll impress her on the bike
Yeah.
and all that.
That's how you found your
I met
friend.
him in a restaurant, introduced
Yeah.
me, met him. Then I said, so many friends I spoke, when I told them the bike, how much time? I said, I don't know when I'm going to go. They got scared. But I said, I'm doing it. And Ravi said, Yana Machan, Nahuda Vara, we're talking with Tamil,
Yeah.
Yamuda Vara, Amango. So we went. And he had a lot of money,
Right.
support from his family, very, very well to do.
Did that help?
That,
Did that help you all in your journey or no?
it certainly helped me in the story.
Yeah.
Because Adesh's philosophy was, touch wood and thankfully, he's also from a very well-to-do family, a pretty prominent business family from Madras.
Madras.
But he was like, I'm not taking a single rupee from anyone. And
It's amazing.
one of the bigger bone of contentions while they were on their journey was to do with money.
Right.
Not how much money you're spending and how much money I'm spending, but why are you spending so much money? Where did this money come from? Because our deal was we're not supposed to have the money. Adesh, we'll not let the cat out of the book. We'll just say this much. And
Yeah.
we used to compete. You know, much I brought so much, you brought so little. What to be friends?
So tell us, who should be reading this book? Who is this book for? Is it for travelers? Is it for youngsters? Is it for who is this book for, according to you?
For kids who want to do something. If you want to just do it, don't think twice.
That is such a lovely thing to say. That sometimes you just need to go with the flow and do things. What about you, Abhishek? Who do you think should be the as a founder of Biplov World, who should be the target for this book?
So Nidhi, that's a really tough question, and I think Adesh put it very beautifully because he said for kids, but I'll say it's not really for. I think kids is more of a state of mind. A lot of us get to the age of 70 and we've allowed our fears to overcome our desires, and we've not explored who we really are. So this is really a book which I think is inspirational and motivational for all of us to stop and think and say that, hey, you know what, maybe for once I should get out of my comfort zone and do this, because that will help me discover who I really am. So it's a coming of age book. Young people should most certainly be reading it, and I'm not saying it because more books will sell and it's good for us. That's not the reason I'm saying that. You want, I'll just distribute free e-books and you guys can read it, but it is a story that young people should definitely read.
Yeah.
There are no two ways about it. I mean, there's a lot that I learned from the book, and being what Ritika and I consider ourselves to be seasoned travelers, despite that, I would say there is a lot that we've learned from Adesh's journey.
Wow.
There's an immense amount of learning that comes in. There's an immense amount of humility that comes in. So the next book that we're still discussing whether we should write or not write.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. Is there going to be a part 2?
I don't think we have the answer to that at this point.
I
with
know,
Adesh.
it all depends on my better half.
Okay. Because the book is gaining a lot of good feedback and there are a lot of good reviews. So I'm sure a part 2 would be a great idea.
Just to kind of sum up what I was trying to say. You look at Adesh. He's sitting here with us. Can you imagine the same guy who undertook this journey at one point in time was a leading pathbreaker in the aviation industry in India?
Was it?
There are a lot of firsts to his name,
Yes.
okay, which we will not talk about today. And I just stumbled across these truths because that is where this book is leading out to. So the same guy who's
Tell me something. Was this all made by you, or were these a part and parcel of the good life that your dad gave you?
Part of me, I like it.
So why I'm asking you this question is the book. The reason this book is an inspiration is because today everything that you've made is do you somewhere owe it to what you did in those early years of your life?
100%. It made me dream and do things.
So all of y'all who have those kind of dreams to make everything in life
Implement it.
definitely need to read a book like this where you know that you need to touch ground zero and then come up again, which is what Mr. Adesh Taneja did. He went down ground zero and then he came up, and that's the journey Abhishek Talwar is trying to highlight over here. Thank you.
Thank Abhishek a lot for it.
No, I should
Really
thank
good.
Adesh for,
Thank
and
you.
we have this mutual admiration club where we keep thanking each other.
Yeah, I don't shake hand like listeners. Thank you.
So
I'm
Adesh,
I'm
Adesh keeps thanking me for writing the book. I keep thanking him for giving me the opportunity to,
Thank
write the
you,
book.
Mr. Taneja. Thank you for coming on the show, and some words for last few words for the
Well,
book.
last few words. I'd say let's leave the book aside for a moment. If I were to take away a lesson from the way Adesh has led his life, we're all taught that don't chase money, chase your dreams, and money will follow, which is easier said than done. But here is a man who's actually done it. He's never chased money, and I've seen money chasing him because he's only chased his dreams without worrying about how he's going to get his next meal.
Right now I've become a farmer. Drumstick trees, I've got 50. Turmeric, half
You are
an
living
acre.
the life.
I'm just enjoying talking to nature.
That's amazing.
It's beautiful it is.
Okay.
So that really Nidhi, is for me the big takeaway, and I hope somewhere that message is coming out in the book. And all I'd like to say, summing it up is, whatever is great about the book, it's something that Adesh has actually lived as a life, and whatever is whatever probably doesn't make too much sense or is not very well fleshed out, the fault lies with my ability to bring that story out. It's absolutely not a reflection on what he's gone and achieved and lived as far as a life is concerned.
Wow. So here are some very humble words from two people who this book is all about. Please go pick this copy up and stay tuned to Biplov World. Follow us below and some exciting content coming your way every day. Thank you.